My sister, a daughter, a wife died in her wedding dress because someone made a terrible decision.
A woman accused of killing a Charlotte bride on her wedding night in a DUI crash is out of jail after bonding out. Court records show Jamie Komoroski's bond was $150,000. A Charleston County judge initially denied bond for the 26-year-old last August, but said if there was no trial by this spring, bond would be granted with certain conditions attached.
Komoroski now is charged with reckless homicide resulting in death and 3 counts of felony DUI. She's accused of hitting a golf cart that was carrying Samantha Miller, her new husband, Eric Hutchinson, and a few others. Well, the crash happened just hours after the couple's April 2023 wedding in Folly Beach. A toxicology report revealed Komoroski's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit in South Carolina.
Let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes now into this conversation. Khalif, we mentioned earlier about there still being no trial, which is why the bond was granted. But is that common? Is that something that you have seen before?
No, not at all. I mean, I have guys that are, I represent clients from DWIs to homicide cases. Typically with a DWI in North Carolina, even one involving death, you wouldn't see a bond not set or one set, throughout that long. But I can say the non-normal part is connecting it to the condition of a trial date being set. And the DA's office responded, Your Honor, we're not moving the trial date up just because this case has got some notoriety. There's cases, they mentioned about 100+ homicides and homicide victims' families that need to have their day in court before this case can even be set. So they already knew even back in August that this wasn't going to be a trial date moved up just because there was a tension on the case. So that portion of it, that the judge connected it to some type of condition, is definitely outside of the normal course of action that I see in the case.
And I remember when that happened, and it was kind of alarming for a lot of people. I do want to talk about the notoriety of this case because it has been all over. And when you look at, we've heard Jamie having conversations from jail to her father and how she's come across as being, she was laughing and she was making jokes with her dad, almost coming off as a little bit of kind of bratty behavior. And we've also heard from the mother of the bride who was killed. And you've spoken to the mother before.
I have. Yeah. I have spoken with her on the phone before, and she said it's too soon to do any sort of interview, but it's something that she obviously she's going through unimaginable grief right now, but she says, I hate hearing that my daughter is always referred to as the Charlotte bride killed on her wedding day. She was so much more than that.
So it's a couple things I can say. The first thing is the fact that you were even able to see that interaction on the video regarding the defendant. That underscores what I tell all of my clients, which is remember everything you say on these calls, either on the phone or Zoom type calls, are recorded. And if you don't remember that they're recorded, everyone else will see and hear them. So don't talk about the case and don't come off as if you're flippant or arrogant, because people will hear that and the prosecutor can use that against you later at some point to show that you had no remorse. But regarding the other portion of it, and I've been in this situation as a criminal defense attorney where you have to be in court and you listen to when a family comes in to give some type of victim impact statement regarding a bond hearing, when they come in and talk about the devastating loss of their loved one and they're telling the judge why they don't want this defendant to be let out. And on the other side, you have the family that still has a son or a daughter that they have to love. And so I think it's an excellent examination of the human experience that you don't stop loving your family member because now they're charged with a violent crime, and you don't stop missing or wanting that person to still be here while this defendant wants to get out. And so I've experienced and watched the ups and downs and wiped tears away while sitting in court while families have testified. That is a very hard place to be in for the mother, and I sympathize for her, and I completely understand and appreciate where she's coming from. But also as the father, I can hear him. He's like, I just want my daughter home because she's in this jail and I don't want her to be there while she has an opportunity to defend herself for this charge. Obviously, this one is pretty cut and dry and open shut in terms of culpability. But as the parent, you can see he just wants his daughter home.
And I just want to wrap with that. There was some sound from the bride's mother who said he can see his daughter from jail. I can never see my daughter now.
And I can guarantee she'll say that again at time of sentencing to ensure that the judge gives her the stiffest punishment possible.
Thank you, Khalif.